No surprise to you if you've been to the grocery store that food prices have gone up. The USDA predicts prices for food at home, what we buy at the store, to increase 2.2% this year.
We know that you are already feeling that in your wallet, depending on how much you buy, when you're buying for your family, that kind of thing. But another type of organization is feeling that too, that probably buys a lot more food than you do. Food banks. Our Jackson County reporter Claire Bradshaw live to share how some Lee's Summit food banks are reacting to this increase. Claire, there are lots of people watching this morning that are trying to figure out how to feed their family of 4, 5, 6 people. Food banks have a lot more mouths to feed, quite literally.
Right, and those people trying to figure out how to feed their families, they could be also going to a food bank. So food banks, they really heavily rely on donations. And during the summer, they see a normal increase of people coming and seeking assistance. But this year, they're also starting to see a decrease in donations. Though donations, people aren't putting those extra mac and cheeses in their grocery bags when they're checking out. So I spoke with Lee's Summit Social Services and Coldwater of Lee's Summit about how that summer pinch is just a little tighter this year.
Lee's Summit Social Services.
Within the first quarter, we had an increase of 400 clients.
And Coldwater of Lee's Summit.
We've seen almost a 44% increase.
Run food banks for the area. They say it isn't uncommon to see a higher demand for food during the summer.
You know, when school gets out, I think families are getting, their kids are at home for the most part. When kids are at home, they get bored, they eat.
When summer months hit, there's increased utility costs. The electric bills go up way more, so it's already showing in their budgets the pinch.
While both food banks are seeing an increase in clientele, they're not seeing a significant increase in donations to offset that demand.
We've put out, I believe this year alone, 6 or 7 different calls for food, and I don't think that I've seen that frequently in the past 9 years I've been here.
Salerno says there aren't many food drives in the summer either. They're more popular around the holidays. So Coldwater sources a chunk of its food from Grocery Recovery, picking up food close to its best buy date from grocery store partners.
A lot of it's frozen food, produce, some dairy, stuff like that would actually end up in the trash. And so these department stores and stuff like that, they have been challenged to not throw it in the trash and give it to people that could really need it.
Donations fall when food prices go up because Monty Stoll says people are being more conservative with their purchasing.
You know, we just hope that the people who aren't struggling as bad as some others are mindful and think about giving.
I also don't want to make so many frequent requests because then it doesn't seem as impactful.
The way they show impact, Megan Salerno said, is just by showing their gratitude every time they get a donation. So you guys, Monty still had one thing he's very concerned about, and it's programs like SNAP. He's worried that if SNAP is taken away, that food banks will be the only source for families to get food for their families. Back to you.
One of many things we're watching.
And Claire, obviously people are going to want to help. They depend on people that help them all the time. What are ways that people can do that this morning?
And again, we're all budgeting to go to the grocery store right now, but the easiest way to help these food banks is picking up those extra non-perishables when you're going through the checkout, or even donating online monetarily. They will take any of that. Megan Salerno said that when they put out one call for just jam for some PB&Js, they received a DoorDash order with like 35 jars of jam within just a few hours. So people are donating. There's just that higher increase of people also needing it.